Welcome home, everyone. We are talking about affordable housing while living in America. Today, we're going to be very detailed. We're going to be detailed in the state of South Carolina. I had a viewer that requested last night that we look into South Carolina to help them find something and to see if certain things were open. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Housing Choice Vouchers and public housing in South Carolina, okay, for Section 8. If you are not familiar with this channel, what we are is we're a community trying to reduce and prevent homelessness one person at a time, starting with us. That's why I created this community. We also live creatively in every area of our lives, and we enjoy our lives in every area. So you want to become a subscriber because we have a lot of fun on this channel. It's an overall creative channel with a lot of information, a lot of fun, and a lot of enjoying life. And I show you how to do that each week, guys. The only thing that I ask you guys to do is I give you the information and you make this mutually beneficial. You hit that like button. You like the video so it can spread to other people so they can have this information and get affordable housing, because a lot of us need affordable housing out there. And that's why I'm taking the time to do this. So please pass the information along. Also, if you know someone in a particular state that I talk about or willing to move to that state, or you live in that state or willing to move to that state, still pass the information along. Share it to those people, okay? Especially our seniors, our homeless, and our veterans, military, all of that. So let's start today with South Carolina, what is open. And I'll just go down the list. It's not in no particular order of a city. It's not in particular order if it's a housing choice voucher or if it's public housing. I will tell you what it is as we move through that. So the Haven at Palmer Point in Columbia, South Carolina, has an open waiting list until August 30th, okay? And they have project-based vouchers. Also, in North Charleston, South Carolina, they have a project-based voucher in Birchwood, RAD, until further notice. Also, project-based voucher in Birchwood, LIHTC, for whatever that means for you guys there, in North Charleston, South Carolina, open until further notice. Also in North Charleston, we have Austin Lakes RAD, project-based voucher, open until further notice. North Charleston, South Carolina has Liberty Hill 1, 3, and 4 bedrooms available for project-based vouchers, open until further notice. Project-based voucher in North Charleston at Austin Lake, LIHTC, open until further notice. All right, public housing in Conway, South Carolina has 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms open until further notice. Their preferences are for the displaced, the disabled, the senior, and the locals. Public housing in McCall, South Carolina for East Crest Apartments. They are open until November 19th, 2024. No preferences confirmed. Public housing in South Carolina at the Housing and Community Redevelopment Authority of Marlsborough County, open until November 19th. Public housing for multi-properties, open until further notice in Multi-County, South Carolina. Project-based vouchers at Parkside at Butler in Greenville, South Carolina, open until further notice. A project-based voucher at the McLaren Community Workforce and Affordable Housing in Greenville, South Carolina, open until further notice. Project-based voucher in Greenville, South Carolina at Century Plaza, open until further notice. Public housing in Lancaster, South Carolina, open until further notice at the Housing Authority of Lancaster. Section 8 Housing Choice Vouchers open in Georgetown County, South Carolina. Open until further notice for the employed, the displaced, the disabled, the homeless, and the seniors. Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher for the homeless is what they prefer in Lake City. I'm sorry, not Lake City, they're close. Section 8 Housing Choice Vouchers in Myrtle Beach. No preferences confirmed. Open until further notice. That's game-changing, guys. That's a lot of affordable housing here in South Carolina. It can get people off the streets, and it can keep people from being put on the street. Myrtle Beach, game-changing. You want to live on the beach, go ahead and apply now. All right, public housing in Lake City, South Carolina at the Lake City Housing Authority, open until further notice. Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher in Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina, Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing, VASH, for the VASH program in South Carolina. Game changing for the veterans. Please let your veterans know they're from Myrtle Beach area. It's open until further notice. Project-based vouchers, Hilliard Bin Apartment, South Carolina, open until further notice. Alliance Inn Apartments for the homeless, project-based vouchers in South Carolina, open until further notice. Project-based vouchers for the homeless and disabled and the veterans at Carver Grove Apartments, open until further notice. Project-based vouchers for the seniors at Villas at Swans Gate, open until further notice, guys. Let your seniors know, please. They want to be independent. They don't want to live with people. They want to have their own housing. All right, public housing. Public Housing Authority at Greenwood, South Carolina, for the employed, the disabled, the seniors, the locals, open until further notice. Public housing at the Housing Authority of Easley, open until further notice for the disabled and the seniors. Public housing at Housing Authority of York, open until further notice, guys. Public housing of Woodruff, open until further notice. Public housing at the Housing Authority of Newberry, open until further notice. Public housing at the Housing Authority of Bennettsville, open until further notice. Public housing at Sumter Housing Authority, open until further notice. Public housing at Gaffney Housing Authority is open until further notice. Public Housing Authority of Union, open until further notice. We're talking about South Carolina, guys. Public housing at Chester Housing Authority, open until further notice for the displaced, the disabled, and the seniors. Public housing at the Housing Authority of Abbeville, open until further notice. Public housing at South Carolina Regional Housing Authority number 1, open until further notice. Public housing, City of Aiken Housing Authority for the displaced, the disabled, and the seniors, open until further notice. Section 8 Housing Choice Vouchers of Sumter Housing Authority for the disabled, the seniors, the veterans, and the locals, open until further notice. Housing Authority of Greenwood for the employed, the disabled, the seniors, and the locals, open until further notice, guys. Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher, Housing Authority of Marion County, South Carolina, open until further notice. Section 8 Housing Choice voucher at Chester Housing Authority for the employed, the disabled, the displaced, and the seniors open until further notice. It's early for me. I'm just getting my day started, guys. Project-based voucher at the Victor in Greensville, South Carolina is open until further notice. And for my viewer, what they were looking for is public housing and Beaufort Housing Authority. Open until further notice for the employed, the displaced, the disabled, the seniors, and the locals. And specifically for my viewer in Beaufort for public housing, the information that I have for Beaufort is that you can mail in an application to Beaufort Housing Public Housing at Post Office Box 1104, Beaufort, South Carolina 29901, guys. The waiting list has the following preferences for the head, the spouse, or sole member who is working or who has graduated from an institute of higher learning within the last 6 months, or who is willing to attend on a regular basis, has satisfactory performance and expects to graduate within 6 to 12 months. An institute of higher learning includes but is not limited to colleges, universities, and adult education. Also, working families include applicant households, head spouse or sole member who's age 62 or older or is receiving Social Security disability benefits, supplemental security income, disability benefits, or any other payment based on the individual inability to work. Also, for the displaced due to no fault of their own, due to fire, flood, disaster, condemnation, or other government action, single applicants that are elderly, disabled, or displaced over other single applicants is the preference, or head spouse or sole member currently that lives and works in or have been hired to work in the Public Housing Authority jurisdictional area there in Beaufort. Working families include applicants who's the head, the spouse, or the sole member who is age 62 years or older, receiving Social Security disability benefits, supplemental security income, disability benefits, or any other payment based on the individual's inability to work, guys. If you need other support, there are other channels out here. There are 2 channels that I know of. One is called Mama Cutie Finance, and she talks about Section 8 and also the affordable housing waiting room. They all support you guys while you wait on your Section 8 housing choice vouchers, gives you guidelines and tips, and that is affordable housing waiting room and Mama Cutie Finance. If you guys know anything about this information I've given you today or have any other information for your fellow YouTube family, leave it in the comments. I love you guys. Press the like button. Also become a subscriber if you are not a subscriber so you can stay alerted to these updates weekly. I'll see you guys in a future video. Thank you so much for watching. Love you.